people. No. People are hilarious people because their brains and their mindsets and their mind frames and the way they think and their actions and their beliefs and their opinions and all of these things. And it makes them hilariously just interesting and unique, and the way they say things, the way they word things, and their actions and their body language and their communication skills and all of these things just impact this, just who they are. It's funny because there's never ever going to be another person like every person on the planet. Every person is unique, but exactly the same because they're human. They're human. They're the same because they're human. They're different because they're a different form and expression of being human. They are different in their own way. They are unique. There will never be another person the exact same way that they are. Every person in the world that you've ever met, that is the only person of its kind, of their kind. There will never be a duplicate of whoever you've met in your life. Every person you've ever met, they are unique. And there will never be another copy in history and or the future. Future saying, if there is a future, because you can't determine it, there's a likelihood that there will be a future, but you can't promise it. You can never promise it. There's only the now. And history is only memories. The future is anxiety. There will never be a different time than now. It's always been now. Always. Always have been right now. So, you may believe me, you may not believe me. That's just your different perception and persuasion of convincing you. You have different levels of being convinced, right? Correct? Everyone has a different level, maybe similar, some are different, some are very different, some are very the same. That's just probably my skill of trying to persuade you, and then your skill of being convinced. So two different aspects are affecting one different thing. And there are many other different things that impact on being convinced, but that's just, that's a different story for right now. But anyways, life. People are interesting because there's just so different minds, so many different ways of thinking, so many different mindsets. There's so many secrets that people just don't know yet. And it's funny how just people just don't know. People just don't know a lot of things. And they don't even realize that they don't know because they've never even acknowledged it. They don't even realize. It's like, okay, imagine secrets under a blanket and then saying, yeah, that's a blanket. And they don't even know what's. They don't even ask what's under the blanket. They don't even ask what's behind it. They don't even know what. They don't even know what to ask. They're like, okay, that's a blanket, and they just continue on with their lives. They don't even know that something is under the blanket. They don't even ask. They don't even begin to ask because it hasn't been presented to them. You don't know anything that hasn't been presented to you. Exactly. So, with that said, what are you gonna do about it? What are you gonna do? How are you gonna learn these things if it hasn't been presented to you? You can think about it. You can think, what's the possibilities? What is impossible? What is possible? And then you define what you believe is possible. If you believe what is possible isn't possible, then everything's going to be impossible, right? How would that work? I don't know. You describe. You make it. You make it work. You make whatever is impossible work. And then you'll know if it's possible or impossible. I don't know. That's just life.